It sounded like we were in the middle of the episode. All right, welcome back.
Hey guys, and welcome to our review of Ultraman Zett, episode 12. I'm your host, Cinder Blaze. With me today we have...
The Frozen Stratos.
I'm Marisol.
Alright, welcome back. Before we start things off, check our description down below. We got a juicy little BLM link for you, so you can go check that out. Alright, to this review, which... it was a bit more of a violent episode. You know, I would have assumed that after the stress that Haruki had last week, we'd probably tone down a little bit on the violence. Mm-hmm. But then, out of nowhere, King Joe just murders the absolute crap out of that kaiju. And I personally enjoyed it. I'm not sure.
I enjoyed murder. I enjoyed zip popping.
Especially with that whole speech kind of like justifying, it's like, you know what? These guys are causing issues. You know what? We're just gonna take one for the team.
I'm gonna be the one to do it.
I do like that speech, the little speech she gave though. I like that it's different than what you would typically get out of like a Toku hero speech. It's really very morally gray, where it's like, look, the fact is these things, they just don't belong here, and if somebody has to do this, I'm gonna be the one responsible.
I mean, isn't it like those aliens have been there for a while? Are they even aliens at that point?
A lot of them are natural.
Yeah, which is like a little...
I understand where she's coming from, because she made the case of like, well, if the baby hatches and grows up, it can go on a rampage.
Right.
Most like previous Ultraman series will make the case of like, well, we can just live together in peace. This one's like pushing the idea of like, probably not.
We might need to execute the fuck out of these guys.
Yeah, and that's kind of the point that they're trying to get across, is like, that's probably what's gonna have to happen. We gotta...
I mean, I'm sorry, we have a show, we got toys to sell, we gotta blow these monsters up. It's not gonna work any other way.
Yeah, like, there's no treating these kaiju as Pokemon anymore. I know that was a thing in, like, some previous Ultraman series, but not here. Like, I think this is, like, a different, like, universe, so they probably have, like, their own whole setup that we're probably not gonna get into until the finale, if they even care for it. But this was, I mean, like their attitude towards kaiju is probably something that'll take a little getting used to. Because, like, I think with, like, Yoko especially, I'm just kind of like, that is a little bit weird. But I guess, like, she feels like that duty to, like, serve and protect, you know, her people. And I think that she kind of, like, focuses in on, like, that aspect of it. Like, yeah, and, like, the grand scale things, like, she's probably not okay with, like, you know, killing the kaiju. Like, morally, she probably thinks it's not, like, the best thing, but it's something that she has to do. She's put in that position where, you know, people depend on her for their safety to do that job, and she's just going to get it done. So, for that, I'm fine with it. So...
And like, true to that, like, she's the one who got the win this week, which was awesome.
Yeah. She had, like, the tiniest little, like, switch to, like, transform in between each mode.
A little lever that controls this entire robot.
Like, it's not even her whole hand, it's like... and then it just... flies around.
I've seen cars with more gears than King Joe.
I love how that missile rack, that, like, gun emplacement, has those struts to, like, just stand there and, like, sit down and, like, fire at something, but it also just flies. for no reason. It just goes around. Like, you can stand it there and we'd be fine. You don't need to, like... But it was cool. Like, the the thing that I was not expecting from King Joe was that, what is it, transportation mode, to be like, all right, we're gonna like knock this thing down on its feet and have it land on us as a bed and roll it away.
Yeah, that was quite the mode. Like, I honestly did not expect King Joe to like turn into like a transformer like robot. Usually they just have the standard robot form and then like detachable arms, but I guess they just want to go full shebang, sell an entirely different toy. If it actually can transform in all those, that would be pretty neat, to be honest. But
well, Alex, I don't got a magazine that shows that you can absolutely do that with a DX toy. I don't know where my magazine went, but you can.
Yeah. Juggler seemed like really okay with the outcome of this episode. So, like, if there's any theories on like who might be the villain for the series, Juggler like rose 1% in probability. Like, I honestly forgot until like this watch along that we did have a villain in this series.
Yeah. Who hasn't been around since like the episode after
I think G showed up, right?
Yeah. Because then it's just been all King Joe stuff, and now, oh no, I killed the monsters stuff. Like, it's...
Yeah. And it like, I don't know if this is like a theory that I had or anything, but it definitely feels like, hey, you director person, you're really good. Why don't we just throw you in here? You could do an Ultraman. We'll give you like an arc. We're going to sideline our story for a little bit. You can do something here.
Like, sure, we only have 25 episodes. Yeah, just take whatever.
Yeah, do whatever you want, man.
Our plot's like 5 episodes. We have time.
I'm curious, because didn't the main writer for this show pass away like shortly before it started airing?
I had no idea that was a thing. I
remember seeing something about like someone attached to the show passing away just before it started, and I'm wondering if that had any sort of impact, and maybe that's why like we haven't had like a substantial amount of main plot for a while.
Yeah,
like, I don't know how valid that is, so don't quote me on it.
They did salvage plot for like 3 episodes, so
I'm sure that since we don't know, there will be people in the comments who will let us know, who are more versed in this than we are.
Oh yeah, thanks for reminding me. I should probably pull those up.
Yeah, the main writer for the series passed away.
The main writer? Oh my god. Mm-hmm. That sucks.
That is quite unfortunate.
So I don't know how much of the series was written before that happened. How much it's been. I feel like this series definitely probably shot more in advance than something like Kamen Rider or Sentai, which shoots a little bit closer to when it airs, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of like speculation. Do you guys have any other thoughts for this episode? I think like this was a not like bare bones, but it was just kind of like
it dove in more to the emotion and like just playing off of that more, and it was like steeped in it for a while. It's not like it didn't really have a lot to say, but what it did say was like really weighty enough to like carry it through the whole thing.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the setup was like in the previous episode, and we just kind of like had a finale, I would say.
I mean, like, I feel like we're still sort of sitting with it.
Yeah, I feel like next week we're probably gonna maybe have the last of this. Who knows? But like, I feel like it's a matter of like it's 3 episodes, and the first one we had a lot of stuff go on. I imagine next week's might be a little more interesting, and then this week's it's like let's just sit in it for a while and kind of watch this dude work out in a moody, unlit room.
I mean, I kind of like that we're letting it breathe, even with a show that's so brief. We have a moment to like, sit with that emotion. We don't have to go breakneck pace.
Yeah. Sounds good. Are you guys ready for comments?
I am.
Sure.
All right. John Hendricks has a 5-pointed comment. Point number 1. The metafield from Nexus is a dimension nexus created using his essence. I don't know why you put it in quotes, but so that he can battle the monsters without collateral damage. Once he gets beat up, the barrier's strength lessens. It's an extension of him. 2.
Oh.
Corey, were you printing something? I heard something in the background, and I was trying to figure out what it was. 3. Hey, Spray Can. Glad that you're making more appearances here. You were my favorite part of the original RRR.
Thanks. I'm my favorite part too.
I'm very glad. Oh, number 4. I'm glad that this conflict with Haruki is still unresolved. I like it when Toku shows allow these kinds of threads to breathe, and they don't feel like they have to wrap it up in 15 minutes after introducing it.
Oh my god.
5. I also forgot about Cerberus. Oh man.
I was not printing anything. For 2, great minds. They do something about it.
Yeah. Rogue Gangster commented, this episode made every mecha fan fangasm and makes us realize mecha can be real, aside from Super Sentai, because that will be dead in 1,000 years or so. XP. Also, yeah, Zett is a merciless murderer. Yeah, he got blue balled so hard. He was so down to kill, and just like, nah. Presses the little blinky light on his chest, and he's like, nope, you out of commission in 5 minutes.
That was another thing that I really wanted to talk about, because like, we've not done anything with Zett or the character of Zett, and like, you'd think the person in his head, someone he could confide in, would be helpful in a situation where like, hey, this is a morally gray area, I need someone to bounce off of. Like, he's so in his head so many times, and like, he hasn't really told his story. Like, the audience knows the story, but he hasn't really told his story to anyone else.
Yeah.
And like, he's bottling it all up, and I kind of want to see him, come to terms with it, or at least talk to someone about it.
Yeah.
And like, Zett is really the only one he can talk to, because he is the one executing them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, from what I've seen, a lot of like the host Ultramen, the Ultraman themselves don't really get a lot of like development. This was something I actually had an issue with in X, where X kind of didn't say a whole lot or do a whole lot. Like he talked to the main character plenty, but there really wasn't a lot of development as far as character is concerned.
That's fair.
And like, I remember in like Rube, did they even have an Ultraman that was speaking to them at all?
It's like,
No.
wasn't Rube one person, but then 2 people, and then
They were 2 people. They were 2 separate people.
Right,
they were
right.
brothers. Who
wait,
then,
the actual
like,
Ultramen, or
yeah, they were
Oh.
brothers. They were the villainous Grigio. It was her brothers. Have you seen Rube?
I did. I don't remember any of it, man.
I watched it like
Oh,
last
maybe I
month,
did.
so
Yeah, it's been a while for us, but like that was also like a little mess. But I think for like this one, like, I find it a little disappointing because they attached him directly to Ultraman Zero, who's kind of like had probably he shows like the most personality out of like the more recent Ultraman. So I think like just kind of like attaching it to him and kind of like developing it with him would have been a little bit nice. They were alluding to it a little bit towards the beginning of the series, but then like ever since they brought in G to kind of like kick them both off, we're just like, oh, I guess he's like stranded in an island, and there's no one for him to really bounce off of and develop, because like he kind of reminds me of like that glory seeker that Zero was in his like debut, which kind of like required like a character arc for him in his debut movie to kind of like get over and stuff. And there's nothing here to kind of like force Zett to kind of go down that route. Maybe Haruki's kind of like turmoil will be like the catalyst for that. I honestly doubt it. But like one of these fights, Zett's gonna be like, "Hey, you're down with killing now?" He's like, "Yeah, I got over it, bro." And it's like, "All right, cool. Here's a power up, dude. Just like shuffle the coins a little bit. Boom, it's a gun, ultra gun." Who knows? But yeah. All right. Any final thoughts before we just kick the can?
No, I'm good. No.
All right. Hey guys, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Check our description down below. There's fun stuff down there. All right, that's it for us. Catch you later.
Keep it.
See ya.
Oh man, that was all one word. I felt like I was mumbling real bad.
And you keep talking like that.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, we got like a bit of second wind in that one.